with a biblical concept. Okay, all right, interesting. So, if someone wanted to see some of your work, where can they go? Is there a website up, or where can they find more about your films?
Well, I have my MySpace. You can check out my email, Cameron period Wood at yahoo.com. Cameron, Kameron period Wood at yahoo.com. And then from there, you can find my MySpace and have everything, pictures of the current films. As I said, the DJ project, that's work in progress, because that's a story that's continually every day being told.
Right.
And we've been working on it, trying to get it done, and I believe it's going to get done.
Okay.
Because you know, especially knowing personally, and the story which he's really trying to accomplish a goal. And being a young black man, as I tell everyone, I'm one mistake away from a statistic, as well as the next man, our mayor, our clergyman. They're always one mistake as a statistic, just because of where you're labeled. Not always going to jail, but just being a statistic anywhere, generally. So I love the idea of him wanting to strive for something that he can achieve. Both of us, being a filmmaker, him wanting to be a musical DJ. Where there's will, there's a way.
Okay, so Cameron, you being 15 years old, you're very ambitious, you're bright, you're creative. Where do you see yourself in the future? What are some of your future goals? And I ask because this is so important for our young men that are coming up, and seeing someone like yourself as ambitious as you are. Sometimes there are a lot of our young people who feel hopeless, kind of don't know what they want to do. For someone who knows the direction he wants to go into, where do you see yourself in the future?
Well, when I met Dick Gregory in Washington, he was with a gentleman an African-American gentleman who was the head of the hospitals in that area, Washington, D.C. area. And I was telling him, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. And I was just saying, I want to do this. He said, when Moses was speaking to God, Moses said, who shall I say sent me? God said that I am, the great I am. And that's telling me personally, whatever I do, I speak life into. People without a vision shall perish. And so I now know that whatever I do, I have to speak life to. So I'm going to dictate that, whether it be being a president of the United States, or just the average filmmaker, or the filmmaker who's doing all these things in Hollywood. I want to be someone who a young man or a little girl can be like, okay, he has done something that I can also do, I can also achieve. Because anything's possible. It's just the knowledge we put forth, the potential we put forth.
Okay. So do you have anything in particular, like any particular goal that you want to say that you have at this moment? Or is that still in development for you right now?
I have laid down a plan. I've been talking to a friend. I laid down a plan. I want to do a biblical series, modernize it. Of course, the Judas Project being one of them. But really putting together a modern series of telling these stories from King David and his promiscuous ways to, you know, Peter denying Jesus, to Judas betraying Jesus, to Paul, the new apostle. People can relate to these things. Of course, with David was this promiscuous player type of guy, thinking, I'm going to run these women and do these things. He was wicked at heart, and people can relate to it. And the thing I see that's diminishing is that there's no church or religious backgrounds in our youth. I thank God that my grandfather and my father are both ministers, and that I have the background of knowing Jesus. So I'm be able now to spread this, they call it evangelism, but be able to do this ministry. It's basically a ministry helping these people, because everyone has to know, you know, where and what they can do just to be helped. You know, lady asked me, why do I do this activism, especially when these young people are killed? I try to make it to every one of these memorial services, just to tell them that it's happening too much. When will we finally realize that our young black men are being exterminated out of these communities? When will we realize that if our young women keep gyrating and flashing all what they're doing, talking in different tongues, which they shouldn't be talking, they won't go anywhere. They have to understand that their mind can take them anywhere, not their bodies. That's the main thing I try and see. Oh yeah, Cameron, that's, you know. But I'm thankful when friends, and I use that term lightly, come to me and they're able to express what they need from me, and I'm able to help them. I'll tell them if I don't know. But if I'm able to help you, and that's something I try to get through my films, inspire someone, I've done the job.
Okay, so Kim, I see you're very faith-based. Very, very faith-based. Now I'm going to throw a curveball at you.
All right.
Now, how can you connect with the young man or the old woman or any individual who may not be as faith-based as you? How can you still connect with that other human being in terms of telling a story?
You look at Judas. He's a man whose they say his ways were wicked because he was only after money. There's old drug dealers after that dollar and will do anything for it. So if that is not connecting to his story, oh, I don't have anybody to relate with, I can't talk with anyone, there's an issue there. Because either psychologically you're not built up, or just physically you don't want to take the time to do it. And so connecting these individuals, again I say David, because David was a player. Like I said, he was after these women, having his friend killed while he was on the front line. This is happening in our streets. Homeboy don't want like the other bruh man, so he's going to have something happen to him just for something petty, demeaning to our communities. And in this hiatus, it's happened sporadically within the communities.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, thank you for this interview, Mr. Woods, Kameron Woods. All right, you heard it first yourself here, sitting with the young and up-and-coming filmmaker, Mr. Kameron Woods. Again, we will post up his information, his contact information, if you want to contact Mr. Kameron Woods. You can also find him on MySpace. And again, thank you for watching Urban Legacy TV. Your co-host, Shamice Ali.